Hi, this is Lisa with Coping with Yarn, and this is my first tutorial ever. I'm going to show you how to use a loom for making a hat, making a beanie. So first of all, if you have, this is the mainstay yarn, and one skein will be enough to make a hat. So if you're going to use a size 3 or a 4, I'd recommend that you use 2 strands. So make sure that you have 2 balls to do so. So what you do is you put your 2 strings together, make a knot, push it through just like that, and you want to put this, see this little fellow right here? This is going to be your point of reference. So everything that you do is going to be off of this little nub. So I don't know what it's really called, but we'll call him Nubby. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do, I want a rim. I like beanies with rims, and so it's going to be the same step at first of whether you want a rim or not. It's just going to be the same thing, and I'll show you how to actually make a rim when I get there. First of all, from this little nubby, you want to go counterclockwise. So I like to use the loom like this. It's just easier for me. What you want to do is you want to wrap around once each peg as you go counterclockwise from Mr. Nub. Okay, so that's all you do. You wrap it once. And how you know if you're wrapping, okay, so make sure you want to wrap towards the nub, like this, the same direction. If you do it the wrong way, it will look like that on the other side, and you don't want it to look like that. You want it to look like this, okay? So each one, you wrap around each peg, and you can go as slow or as fast as what you're comfortable with. And it's just as easy as that. Okay, and you keep going. Until you reach Mr. Nub. Oh, we reached Mr. Nub. So, and don't let go because I'll unravel. Okay, so once you've reached Mr. Nub, then what you want to do, and I'm just holding on tight to this so it doesn't unwind everything. So now all you want to do is push each of the yarn here on each peg. You want to push it all the way to the bottom of the peg. Push it down, so you go around, and now I can let go because it's tight enough to focus. So you just push it down. That's all you do. And it doesn't matter at this point if you go clockwise or counterclockwise, just push it down. That's all you gotta worry about. And I'm outside because it's really nice. It's probably 70 degrees out. It's probably the hottest day of the year so far. And it's our spring break. So that's pretty cool. Okay, I got to Mr. Nub. Now, and this is just the very beginning of it, because once you have 2 rows of these, you're going to use this little tool right here. It kind of reminds me of like a dentist tool where you pick your teeth with or something. But this is going to come in handy. And it comes with kits usually, and if it doesn't, then it'll be in all of the you'll see the tool by these loom kits if it doesn't come with one, and it will say on the package. Okay, so you want to do it again. Go counterclockwise again, and you just turn you go around each peg once again, and this is what it's going to look like. Oh, you know what I can hear? I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I hear Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. I just love that song. I think my husband's listening to it because he's building a little block wall thing for a garden. My husband is so handy. One of the many things I love about him. He also made, see this stone? He laid this out. He doesn't want me to show it because, not yet, because it's not done. But how awesome is that? He also made a fire pit, but I told him I wouldn't show it until it was all done because I want to show it off. He's awesome. Okay, I reached Mr. Stub. So now, this is the very next step, and this is a very important step. I'm putting the arm between my toes. Okay, now what you want to do, and this is very important. Now for Mr. Stub, now we will go clockwise. So whenever you use this toothpick looking thing, whatever it is, you go clockwise. So counterclockwise when you're wrapping the yarn and clockwise when you're using the tool. So the very first one is always the hardest. It always gives me the most trouble. I have only made one hat, so I'm not a professional at this. So that's what you do, is you just take the bottom one and you pull it over the top of this peg. And so right here, it shows, so this is basically knitting. And right here, I think these are called purls. So you'll see the purls on the side. It's making the purls. Okay, so you take this yarn and you put it over the other side of the peg. See how it's a lot easier? And you just go clockwise now and put it over. And it's pretty simple. And then you'll see the whole routine is just the same thing. And it just knits for you, which is so cool. Do, 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 do. And so in the directions, and I'll go get the directions when I come to a stopping point, but in the directions, I didn't like, I think it said like 3 to 4 inches or something like that. I didn't like the length of the brim of the hat for what they showed. And so it's just a general guide, but I like my brim a little bit longer. So I make it longer, and I just fold it up and I just kind of eye it. Yeah, it seems like homestay kind of splits easily. I don't know. That's what it seems like to me, but it's all good. I think it's called mainstay. So you just kind of go clockwise and put the yarn over each peg. Now, if you're using 5 or 6, then you won't have, see how it has 1, 2, 3, 4. You won't have 4 strands like that. You'll just have 1, 2. But I'm pretending this is 1 strand and this is 1 strand. I have not tried a 5 or a 6, but in the picture that the loom comes with, it shows a thicker yarn. But I wanted to use this yarn because I already had it. Okay. Okay, we came to Mr. Nub. Now, next step, and I've already showed you this. You push this all the way down. And so you just go around and push the yarn towards the bottom of each peg. Okay. Just go like that. You could try 2 at a time, but I tend to do a little bit tighter here. My tension's a little tight on here, and so it takes like 2 thumbs for me to push it down. So that's all you do. Push it down and wrap. Push it down and wrap. Well, right now we're in the push it down phase. See? Easy as pie. Okay. Now, oh, I'm not done. Just kidding. Okay. Now, we got Mr. Stubby. Now we're going to wrap it again, and we're going to do clockwise. Counterclockwise. So you wrap each peg, counterclockwise. Oops, accidentally. Oh, see how it unravels if you let go? Okay, so you can slow down a bit. The first couple of times you do this, just to make sure you got a good grasp on it. Can you hear the beautiful birds in the background? It's peaceful. And then you hear the helicopters. Okay, Mr. Stub. I came to Mr. Stubby. Now, this is going to be the same thing that you do over and over and over. Now we're going to go clockwise when you're using this tool. So, for Mr. Stub, start over here, and the first one's always a little tough. Put it around. So you take the string, pull it over the peg, take the bottom loop, and you pull it over this loop and the peg. And when you do that, you are making little pearls on the other side. See right there? That's the pearls you're making. And that's it. You keep doing this over and over. So after this step, it would be counterclockwise, circling each peg. And you make sure you have 2 things of string to put it over that peg to make the knit. To make the pearls. So that's all you do. So I will stop the video and I'll come back and I'm going to show you how to do the brim. Okay? Which, that's what we're working on right now. But it's the same as if you didn't want a brim. So you're not losing out on anything. And I'm going to stop it.